I already feel it getting dry. Oh, it is weird to start. Hello friends, I'm Bryce, long for Bryce, short for Bryson, but you can call me B. Just B. Welcome to my channel Bryce Mates, where I make whatever I want. It is my channel after all. If you're new here, I typically make compilation videos for IMHO the show, but recently I was given the most amazing opportunity to speak with Darby from IMHO the show and her twin Grant on their own podcast, Twinnuendo. If you haven't seen the episode yet, I will get into it in a moment, but I'm going through a lot in my life right now, and I am deciding to make the changes that I want to make so that I can be happy. Because it's about damn time I get to be happy. Though I've been a speaker at a couple of events before, this was the first time I can cognitively remember it being recorded in order to rewatch later. And I thought, what better way to kick off this new journey in my life than getting to live react to myself? Trying out a lot of new things, because if I don't now, I may never. Whether or not you are exactly like me, I really hope that you'll take a second to hear my story and take with you the confidence to change. Because it's hard. If you are new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and hit the bell notification so that you can get updated every time I upload a new video. Feel free to kick back, open your ears, and get ready for a story, because I've got a good one for you.
Bryce.
Off to a really great start. I could not figure out what I was doing with my Zoom microphone. I just kept pressing buttons and trying to talk. Actually, I was playing my ukulele, and that's why I was muted. I didn't want anyone to be hearing me while I was just sitting there strumming, waiting to be let in. And so it's crazy that in a moment I forget what I do, because I'm actually, this whole time, holding my ukulele. You can see me right there, setting it to the side, so that it's not just completely taking up space in my lap.
How old are you?
Just turned 25.
Oh, you need to get rid of bunk beds.
Do not sleep on bunk beds. Do not hate. If you are a bigger person and your partner is also a bigger person, it just helps to have more space. And even Darby says it. Giving up your space kind of sucks when you're in a relationship. And so having that separate mattress really does come in clutch.
I fell off of my bunk.
Is it rude to say that he looks like he fell off of his bunk bed? Probably.
Anyway, Bryce, how are you? Where are you from?
I'm from Central Florida, actually. Down here in Avon Park, right underneath you.
Yeah, you're not far at all. Come on over.
You're bottoming for my brother? That's disgusting, Bryce.
Thank you, Bryce.
First brother I bottomed for. So.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Oh well.
What do you do in Florida? What do you do with
Alligators.
Hang out,
You do alligators?
You do alligators? Definitely don't go outside. That was funny though. Deep in my Dakota Johnson interview, I guess, I love limes. I actually go outside all the time.
What do you do? Is it a secret? It's okay. You don't have to tell us.
No,
You don't have to
Again, piano right here behind me, had my ukulele in my lap. Don't know why I didn't talk about the fact that I just like to make music.
tell us.
Are you a cam model?
I make YouTube videos. I make the Can I See You Back Here compilations for IMHO.
You're Bryce!
That's me, yeah.
Ah.
Oh my
That's Bryce.
God. Hi.
That's Bryce.
Hello. I honestly,
Hey, Bryce.
you are not what I expected at all.
What were you
I thought-
expecting in
I thought
detail?
anyone who put that much time into making compilations of us, I honestly
Has a
thought that
king
you
size bed.
would be locked in
Okay.
some sort of hospital. Like, I thought this was like an art.
And honestly, was not that far off. Right there. You want to talk about Mental Health Valley. So close.
Thank you so much.
I love
For those
doing
of
it.
you
You guys have
watching
brought so much-
/ listening, Bryce,
Never gonna
what's
stop.
your YouTube channel?
Bryce Makes.
Bryce Meets.
Bryce makes. Make.
At least it's now Bryce Makes. It was Bryson Makes. But we're on the same page at this point. The YouTubers Makes.
Bryce
Meats.
makes, and if you follow him, if you like and subscribe,
really good.
Bryce will mate as well.
And that's true. If you like and subscribe, I probably will mate. Not gonna promise it's with you.
Bryce, if you're listening, he looks like Jesus. Looks like a
Thank
little
you.
little
Like-
editor
you do
Jesus.
look like white Jesus.
I got the-
You look like
Congratulations.
there's only
You can't really hear me say it in the background, but I did truly get cast as the angel Gabriel like 4 or 5 years in a row. Starting when I was, I think, 9. It was just back to back at my church. And then the second the hair grew out, it was white Jesus.
Bryce, what brings you here today? Is there something you'd like to share with us? A problem, a question, an inquiry, a story?
Maybe all of the above kind of wrapped in one. I grew up as a pastor's kid here in Central Florida, a very rural town.
A pastor when I was born, a pastor up until I was, I think, 4 or 5, but working in and around the church regardless. And so my life was heavily involved and invested in church life and church relationships and being at church and what church meant.
Definitely could not be gay to my family or to the public, so that there wasn't much of a safe space for me.
Imagine just seas of orange groves, hills going up and down, and it's just oranges as far as the eye can see. I know that people may think that Florida is this big party state, but here in the center of the state, here on the ridge, we are a little bit isolated. We are a little bit cut off from mainstream civilization. And so growing up, we were a good bit behind where most cities were at, and that meant someone like me just did not fit in.
When I was 17, I got kind of kicked out for Christmas. He met me at the door when I got home from school, told me that I couldn't come back inside, but that I couldn't leave property. So I was kind of living outside for a little bit.
Hang on. You were 17. You came home.
Okay, full rundown. Last day of the semester, right before holiday break. It was an early release day, so we weren't going to be at the school for the entire full 8-hour day. It was 2 sessions of our finals for that semester, and so it was 1 session with 1 period, and then the other session with another period. Okay, had to switch on my SD card. We should be good. I only had 1 of those periods on the last day, and so that meant I was able to go home a little bit extra early. I decided to stop at the mall to get some Chinese food to celebrate. Locked myself out of my car. It really was kind of a whirlwind of circumstances just going wrong. I got back into my car, finally got home, and noticed that my parents were home, which was weird because it was a work day and they weren't really ones to skip out and go home early. I decided to go and just sit at a lake that we lived by for a little bit, hopefully waste some time. Maybe they were gonna go back to work in a minute. That was not the case. Around 4 something is when I finally decided to bite the bullet and go home, and I truly mean that. They were coming out of the front door as I was locking my car. So it really wasn't this exchange as much as it was, this is their life now. They asked for my keys and canceled my phone plan, as well as changed the Wi-Fi so that I couldn't be logging in or trying to communicate with anyone. They took me around back and showed me the back porch, which had a tub of non-perishables and a tub of my old clothes, so that way I wasn't just living in filth. And they had their commandments stapled to the back door. It was 2 sheets of what I had done wrong, their expectations going forward, and what it would take for me to be able to live again. And so I truly mean that. With the exception of showering, I lived outside, and I was out there for about a week. Got very sick after the first night. It was cold and a mist set in, drenched all of my clothes. And so I was just back there. And that lasted through Christmas Day. Christmas Day is when they kind of confirmed that things wouldn't just be getting better for me. It would take me going their way. It would take me living life how they wanted me to live for me to live at all. And that really broke me. That night I made an attempt on my life to try and get myself out of the situation that I was in. I did not have the necessary resources that I could reach out to get myself the help I was needing. I was truly cut off. Deep breath. Ooh, and one more. The next morning, I was taken to a hospital to be Baker acted so that I could get necessary medical treatment. And I'm not going to speak to my time there or my time during that, because that just feels disrespectful. Nonetheless, I came out of it with a treatment plan for my anxiety as well as medication.
It ended in kind of a hospitalization for my health, and DCF had to get involved to kind of mediate things for my family.
It was a process, kind of reintegrating into the family for sure, but I had wonderful support from DCF, making sure that I was safe and that I was healthy.
Just turned 25 on Thursday. And on
Congrats.
Friday,
Happy birthday.
thank you. I really
July babies. We're all July babies.
Answers. Cancers.
Leo.
We're Leos. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
not my
Bryce.
fault.
We're the better July baby.
Yeah,
Better
whatever.
for who?
The
Better
world?
than you. Keep talking about your trauma.
Birthday happened on Thursday. Friday morning, I confronted my partner over how she had been treating me, and so we agreed to separate from that. But it kind of inspired me to start taking myself more seriously. I was 21 when I got in the relationship, so I was still a kid. I was just out of college.
You're a
I had just dropped out.
baby.
I was working at a liquor store. I was a kid. And so now I want to work on myself and healing those childhood wounds that I know that I have, because I worry that I jumped into the relationship hoping that the person I got into a relationship with would be able to help nurture that for me and help kind of facilitate that healing.
This was a big thing that couples counseling made me reflect on. We really only have control over our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, and our reactions. And I feel like for a long time I was trying to put the responsibility of my reactions on other people, and that's just not fair. But that speaks to my core wounds that I had from my childhood. For a long time it's been hard for me to accept how my actions could have in any way changed or caused the things that I've been through. But the fact remains that I cannot change it. And so that's why I wanted to finally talk about it and get all of these feelings out of my body for the first time in almost a decade.
Of course, that's insane expectations to put on someone else who also has their core wounds. And that's why inevitably I decided to separate. But that pushed me to reconnect with my parents for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, you want to talk about mental health, Valley? I was in the trenches. I was struggling. I was boo-hooing. I literally, in my biggest moment of weakness, I just broke down and I called my mom. Out of the blue, no warning, having not spoken to her in a couple years now. And to my surprise, she answered. And not only did she answer, but she stopped what she was doing and she put some of her plans on hold so that she could stay there and that she could listen to what I had to say. And that was the first time in a good few months that I actually felt love. I think it's really easy to just kind of say I love you and let that be the end of it. But in reality, we all have our own love languages. And if our love language isn't being spoken to us, it's falling on deaf ears. It's like speaking French to a person that only speaks Spanish. You can communicate all you want, that doesn't mean there's going to be an understanding. My mom is who pushed me to call my dad, which felt like a much bigger battle for me. And again, to my surprise, he picked up and he listened. And I'll talk about it in a second, but it really felt like we have finally moved to a point where he knows what it means to actually listen to me. And that was a place that I had truly written off almost a decade ago. I really thought there's never a chance in my life that my father will hear me for who I am. And it was coming out of all of that pain and that grief from my relationship that really forced me to kind of reconcile with what it is I want from my life and who it is that I want to be. Thus, this. Changing things up for myself, getting out of my comfort zone, doing things I never thought I'd be able to do.
When I left my parents, when things separated, things were not clean. It was messy. It was ugly. I said a lot of nasty things because I was hurt, and I did not want to feel that hurt alone. And especially from the people that
I
are always
really
saying,
can't
we love you.
Understate that enough. I made many mistakes, and I definitely used the pain that I've been feeling as fuel to hurt my parents. And so we definitely have steps to take to come back together as a family and reach a healthy relationship, all of us together. But I'm excited that I can actually see that path forward now.
We love you without me ever feeling it.
You didn't feel loved on that porch?
Yeah, you didn't feel love living outside?
I
Well, it's
mean,
fireplace.
weird.
Hard to believe with all the
Comfortable,
alligators,
but
I
it wasn't
know.
like but they have been beyond receptive to listening to hurt that I have carried for years and a lot of hurt that they caused.
Wow.
And even today, I had a significant breakthrough with my dad because he has always been he's an accountant by trade, problem solver, transactional. He sees the weight of things and
But he's a pastor as well?
he is not. My mom was the pastor.
Well, that's where you went wrong. That's where you went wrong. You gotta have.
Cannot tell you how much I heard this growing up whenever I said that my mom had been a pastor.
A real pastor's got to be a
that's the
man.
problem.
If you can't dangle for
You're
the
the guy
Lord,
that
then you
ordained her?
can't preach for the Lord.
I was the one to
True.
take it away from her. If anything, I did the service to the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, you took away a fake ordination from a fake pastor. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you
So,
for
like,
But what if someone who had their pastorhood taken away from them? Look it up.
Things never were very fluent between us. We really couldn't communicate about a lot because anytime
And even since I had this conversation with the twins, we have been able to get back on the same page about how our communication styles are very different and what it means for us to actually communicate as opposed to just talking at one another.
Drew, do you feel jealous that his dad heard him?
Yes. Yeah. No, Bryce. I have to admit, I did not see this.
And this was not a brag. It feels like it though.
a journey on other people, even if it is multiple people.
Well,
It really has been a crazy ride, having to just directly confront the ugliest parts of me. It's been terrifying and freeing and fulfilling and the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
it's like I'm very cautiously optimistic for you, babe. And yes, I'm very jealous.
Really, at the end of the day, I can recognize that I've hurt people, and I do not want to be a hurt person that hurts people. And I know that it's going to be kind of a lifelong journey for me, and it's going to be making sure that I take life in moderation and that I'm taking care of myself. I know that carrying my hurt the way that I was stopping me from being happy. And after being unhappy for so long, I am ready to start choosing happiness for myself.
Commented earlier on in the podcast about what it meant to have.
Truly can't express enough how much it means to me to see the two of them having reconnected and the relationship that they're regrowing. It really opened my eyes to the possibilities of a future with my family that I thought were long gone. And so seeing these two be able to come together in this capacity has been a big part of chipping away at the kind of icy barrier that I had built up around myself, isolating myself from people that want to support me.
Feeling. And so thank you for doing this podcast more than anything.
I was worried as I saw it ringing that it was going to vibrate through the microphone. Thanks, Dad.
Well,
Is that your doctor calling? What's going on?
That was my dad calling, actually. I just...
Brag.
You gotta take that call, Bryce.
You know what? We have to end this. We have like so many people waiting.
I did immediately get off the call and call him back. So I just want to be clear that I did not leave that man waiting for me and that I was not brushing him off. I immediately got back on the phone with him. And so that really kind of sums it up. More or less. I'm not going to say that it's a happy story yet, but I'm choosing happiness. And so that's really what this is going to be all about for me. I want to document my journey as I grieve and as I let go and as I move on and as I do my best to grow and heal. I'm 25 now and I know that I'm still a kid, but I don't want to be that hurt kid that I've been for so long. This is going to be a journey about acceptance and about self-love and about confidence and about trying new things that will hopefully open new doors for me and help me find my happiness. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, listening to my stories, sticking around. Give me a subscribe if you want to hear more. I've got plenty more to share, and it's going to be a long journey, I'm sure. But I will find my fulfillment, and I can promise you that. Truly, if you don't watch IMHO, why even be gay? Definitely listen to Twinnuendo wherever you get your podcasts, or go watch it on IMHO The Show's YouTube, but also give it a listen on your podcast, might as well. It really was so surreal to actually speak with them and get to share my journey. I really could not be more appreciative. I could not have better things to say about these two twin individuals and all their shenanigans, so absolutely go give them a follow. I also just started a new TikTok to help me document this journey. You can find me at Terribly Tuned. That's Terribly Tuned on TikTok. Not too much going on there yet, but I will be sharing plenty of the highs and lows of this next year, everything that it's got going on for me. Do you have any thoughts, concerns, or questions for me? Please leave it down below in the comment section, but keep it cute. This is still my journey, and I'm really not about to take shit from strangers on the internet. Wherever life takes you, remember these two things above all. Never stop dancing, and just be. I did it!